I can't see a warrior in sight, but I can feel them staring at us. I take them not riding out after us as a good sign. Makes me think this might not be a trap after all. Cobb kept his eyes on the tree line. The branches were still, and there was not a hint of a wind. He hoped things remained that way until they were back behind the relative safety of the fort's walls. When we get a little more than halfway there, let's make sure we keep our hands up. Since we've gone to the trouble of riding out here unarmed, I'd like whoever's watching to be sure we didn't come out looking for a fight. Butch agreed. They'll probably send someone out to look us over when we get close to that lance. If they do, you stay quiet and let me do the talking. There's a good chance they'll know some Spanish. That'll be my way of putting them at their ease. You just sit there and hold your tongue. Cobb remembered Butch had boasted about his language skills with Major Aston. When was the last time you tried speaking Spanish to someone? A couple of weeks back, Butch declared. When we were in Cheyenne, of all places. Seems like a coincidence now that we're facing a whole tribe of them. Cobb remembered the incident clearly. You mean that Mexican gal you were sweet on that night? The very same, Butch said in a reverent tone. I can still hear her name, too. Esmeralda Elegante. Ain't that just about the prettiest name you've ever heard in your life? As I recall, she had a lazy eye. She surely did, Butch admitted. But she had a warm heart and a fiery disposition. I remember how we spent the whole night, whispering sweet nothings to each other while I charmed her. I sure hope you were paying attention, Cobb. It would have taught you a thing or two about how you ought to talk to a woman. Cobb had a different recollection of that evening. She spat in your face and went for your eyes with that knife she kept in her apron. Butch's face grew sour. There you go again, trying to spoil the memory of another pleasant encounter. It was just a lover's spat on account that she knew I'd have to be leaving early the next morning. She got mad when you started haggling over a price, Cobb reminded him. And it took me and two other fellas to keep her from killing you. But Butch stuck to his version of the story. And I still say it was just a misunderstanding was all. The game of love isn't always a fair one. Cobb minded the ground they had covered as he realized they were almost halfway toward the Cheyenne warlance. I sure hope your Spanish has gotten better in the last 2 weeks. 2 moons will be a lot harder to stop than that senorita